Now, one of the things that's come to my mind, it's not on my list, sorry everyone, but I want to definitely go through first is what underpins all of this. So if we say people are important to your business, they are important to the success of your business, to the growth of your business, and all those other bits and pieces that come underneath that. If we say that they're important to your business, then what function is it that's driving that? So what's the operating system that this all works upon? And the key thing is like I said the other week, if I plug in a printer, I expect it to work. That's not how printers work these days, by the way, having got a new printer recently. So if you get a printer, they don't work by just plugging them in. But if we imagine for a second, if you plug a printer in, you expect it then to be able to print stuff, right? That's the functionality of it. If it doesn't do it, you take it back and you want a different printer. Well, with people, we don't work that way. You don't plug us in and we do, and it works to the standard you want it to straight away. We are very complex beings. We are complex people, and it takes a lot more than just bringing us in and saying, well, I'm paying you a job, you're getting a salary, or why can't you just do your damn job, man? Well, it doesn't work that way. And unfortunately, for you, for me, and for every one of us, it's a lot more complicated. And you need to play to the strengths of what the operating system is. And the operating system for all of us as individuals is relationships. So that's the first point, hitting this mic stand. Relationships are key. I mean, they are so fundamental because that's what all of us operate from, on a basis of relationships, whether it's with your parents, with your loved one, with your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your children, your nieces, nephews, cousins, your wider family, your friends. Everything is built upon relationships. When you're meeting new people for the first time, you're stoking and trying to build a bond of a relationship. Of whatever type of relationship that is, it makes no difference. It's still a bloody relationship, whichever way you cut it. So trying to focus on the quality of those relationships, having someone who can engage and be in a relationship with you is so fundamental when you're looking at building your teams around you. So what we always talk about is, you don't want a short-term relationship. When we're looking at employing people in our teams, I'm not looking for a fling. I'm looking for a long-term relationship. And by the way, in this context, long-term relationships don't mean forever. They may not be forever, but I certainly don't want something that's only going to be short-term. I want someone who can commit to me, but I also know I've got to commit to you. A relationship is a two-way journey between both of us. And I can be in multiple relationships with my team, and I want all of them to be in a relationship together, and I want us all to build something that we're happy to be a part of. People operate on the basis of relationships. Don't underestimate that. One of the things that, from experience that I've had in the past is when you go to places, you talk to managers and whether it's like, for example, if you're managing someone's conduct or their performance, and you go up to the manager, and one of the first questions I'd ask is, so what's your relationship with this person? How's in other words, when I'm saying that, how are things between the two of you? It's like a counselor type of thing, or not just, I'm their manager and everything else. How's the general gist of shit that's going on between you? What's the feel like? And what you tend to get back is, whoa, relationship in business is a dirty word. I'm not having a relationship. What the hell? No. These people are distant from me. I want literally nothing outside this workplace to do with them. They're just here to do the do. Now, help me to get them to do it. That's what they're like. And what I always say to people is can you just realize, take a step back for a minute. Just think about how that sounds to an individual. You matter so little to me. Your importance and significance to my life is so little. I want nothing to do with you in any frame or capacity, literally just to manage you. That's all I want. And I want nothing else other than that. You matter so little. That's the message that you're sending across. And like I said, we're more complicated than plugging in a printer. And that's pretty fucking complicated, I've got to be honest, right? So we're more complicated than doing that. You've got to actually bond. You've got to have some basis point to start from of a relationship. You have to be able to give something to people as well as getting something back. And by the way, no, paying a bloody salary, whilst that's important, you have to do it, is not enough. It is not enough. And if it was enough, then we wouldn't have a problem and I wouldn't have a business. So at the end of the day, you need to get that bond. You need to get that togetherness. We call it the working family. Working family, I mean, some people would sometimes think, family, I don't like the word family because it doesn't work for everybody, but it's a bonding. And for me, family is important. And it's one of our core values. And you need to be able to build a togetherness, a cohesiveness within your team, that you are a family, you're a unit, you are there for each other. You may not be in each other's lives all the time, 24/7, and you may have other things on the side, but you are together and you look out for one another. And that's what your role as a manager, as an owner, should be looking to try and build upon, is a basis of building strong, firm relationships in your business. I guarantee that if you can build strong relationships with the people in your teams and your business, you will see an impact on performance. Absolutely. It's impossible not to. Because if I'm in a relationship with somebody and I value this relationship, because that's what you're building, this bond, a sense of belonging. It's a whole other video. But if you're building that sense of belonging, then I want to give back. I don't want to kind of lose that. I've got to play my part in this kind of this family kind of process, or this setup, this team. I've got to play my part. I've got a responsibility to everybody else that I have that relationship to. And I value that. So therefore, it's impossible for me not to pick up the standards to then increase my performance. If I can increase my performance and the people around me increase their performance because that commitment to that relationship, it's going to increase the performance of your business. And I know a lot of this, by the way, I get it, right? A lot of this sounds like the fluffy shit around the sides, and you just want to run a business. You just want to manage your people. You just want them to do. You want them to come in and do what you're paying them to do. God damn it, why is that not enough? And I get it. But like I said, the operating system that every human being starts from is the basis of relationships. So when I'm going to work, I'm building relationships with the people around me. I'm building a relationship and rapport with my managers, whether you accept that one's being built or not. It's just, if you accept one isn't being built, it's a pretty shitty relationship. You're not going to get much out of that. But it is important. And I think in terms of driving the performance of your business, you need to drive the performance of your staff. And the starting place for that, and I can't believe that that's on the list, is relationships. It all starts with the value of your relationships and the strength of your relationships with your staff and your staff's relationships with each other. It's important. Please focus on the relationships.